gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Titans Talk Show yet again. We have a very interesting person on our show, John. He will tell you a little bit about himself, but he's working on a fantastic idea. Actually, it's been quite a number of years since 8 years, John.
8 years,
8 years. He's been working on an idea. He takes the social out of the social media. So all of you people out there, he's here to kill your joy. We will talk to him more about the idea, and now that we have him in the studio for the next few minutes, we will talk about his idea, how he gave birth to it, and what is it in it for organizations that can make them more successful. John, welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome having you.
It's an honor to be here.
It was lovely listening to you speak at the Global CIO event. Tell us a little bit about Yamba and how you started doing this, and what's the story behind it?
So I started Yamba 8 years ago. I was invited by the Austrian government to speak at the Big Pioneers Tech Festival, and they wanted me to talk about the future of social media.
Wow.
And at that point, I came to the notion within myself that I had 600 friends on Facebook, but I really only know about 10 of them, really. And I thought it was kind of weird that I had those 590 people reacting to my life. And I thought to myself, well, I'm not sure I want to have it like that in the future. Also, I realized that we came to a point back in 2012, that was the time, where we actually stopped surfing. We knew what we wanted from whom we wanted, meaning the services out there were not providing the service we wanted. And that was the beginning of Yamba. So I started to program that and set that in motion, and that took many years. And we finished development 2 years ago, and since then we've been adding partners within the 4 segments that we do: sport, news, lifestyle, entertainment. And in March, we are ready to launch.
Conceiving to delivery took how long for the baby?
Oh, too long. No, I've nurtured a culture within Yamba where everyone is able to make mistakes, as long as they are also able to show me how they learn from it. Right? And that has given us a lot of reroutes to the solution we have, but in the end, a much more solid solution. So adding to the fact that we started down in Philippines where we had an earthquake and a typhoon that stalled us almost a year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so in 2018 we were done. We were ready to launch already in 2018, and we waited now just to add these partners and create all of these great content.
Brilliant. And what's your storyline? When you walk in through the boardroom, door opens and you have 6 CXOs sitting there. What's your story?
Oh,
if you were to say it in one slide.
So then I would ask them if they are they ready to make money on content that it's a cost factor today? And usually that's when they start listening. Unfortunately, and CIO knows this very well, talking tech is not always the most efficient way, but talking dollars definitely is. So I start with that.
Excellent. And are organizations mature enough to understand that you can make money out of social media, or do they listen to it because they hear the word dollars?
Very good question. So I was humbled by some meetings with really big institutions and companies that I thought would understand the need.
Right.
They didn't, Vicky. But when I told them about the dollar, then they realized and got interested, which is almost humiliating for a tech guy.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
It's scary. Yeah. So, if you were born in a different era, what would you be doing?
I would say that I'm an inventor. I've always been doing my own designs on clothing or designing products, etc. Since I started my first company when I was 18 years old.
Really?
So I would be an inventor, which means a problem solver, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And today, how big is Yamba? Tell us more about it, and how can people reach out?
Yeah, so people can go to Yamba.com. We are launching in March. We're still a little bit on the radar, but come end of January, beginning February, we're going to be pushing out with commercials, etc. We are today around 35 people.
Wow.
We are going to be within the next 3 months around 150 people. We have offices in several locations in Europe, opening up in US. India is where we actually launch first.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mumbai is going to be our HQ in India. Yeah. We got cricket and Bollywood on board.
Oh, you don't need anything else.
Not in India.
Oh, yeah, in India, you don't need anything. You're done. You're done for life.
Yeah, and I know that every
Awesome.
time I talk with Indians and I mention people like Virat Kohli, and I have their attention.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
So we're going to be by June, when we're a couple of months into our growth phase, we're going to be having offices in more than 15 countries, and we're going to be employed on 250 people.
has it turned out the way you imagined it would be?
No.
8 years
No, thank God.
back? Really?
Yeah.
You say thank God, or that's good to hear.
Yeah, because if it turns out the way that you initially thought, it means that you A, have a lack of creativity, B, there was not a problem to solve to begin with. What I started out with has evolved, with obviously with the people that I employed and with the partners, etc. It is a much bigger, much bigger idea, and it's not only my idea now. It's become an organism.
What's the culture that you want to drive, or you have been able to drive within your organization? I know the one thing you mentioned is you want people to make mistakes, but other
Yeah,
than that,
yeah.
so is it an entrepreneurial culture?
Yes, it is. It is. I've had a lot of different angles to it. I mean, I definitely have a female feministic part of it. Today, on management side, 90% are females.
Congratulations.
Excellent. And well, it's not. It's an achievement also because the performance-wise, female have a more of a we think, where we have a me think.
Oh yeah.
And that really shows within Yamba. And also, having females on so many management positions makes it much easier with so many different cultures as we have. We got Eastern European, Northern European, Africans, we have North Americans involved, and yeah, we've been able to keep it together so far.
Where do you think social media is going to in the next 3 years, 5 years?
Yeah, I think social media, as in a general term, is just embarking on a very difficult path to bring with them for the future. There's been some mistakes along the road, and growth mistakes, because it grows so fast. And content was not supposed to be in there, and society was not supposed to be in there.
Absolutely.
People express their political opinions, and people are having the whole business model of the companies within social media. So what I believe we're going to see is, obviously there is the antitrust process over in US coming up, so we're definitely going to see a dissection of these companies into smaller companies. I definitely believe that's going to happen. But in general, people are now, they've been matured, they know what they want and from whom they want. We can see in the younger people in TikTok and in Snapchat, and also the lesser activity within the Facebook, etc. I believe we're going to be seeing more of a content-based more than the social-based side of it.
So okay, great. I like that. So you are not limited by the type of social media tool. It doesn't matter to you.
No, it doesn't
Whether
matter.
it's a LinkedIn or a TikTok or a Facebook or a Insta or a Snapchat or
Or Yamba, which is its platform in its own.
oh, it's platform in itself. Okay.
It's a whole ecosystem, closed ecosystem of its own. No, and but it's very good that you pointed out, because I always have to correct people that, but you're a competitor to Facebook. Not really, because they do social media.
Right,
Or you can always go there to chat, because you can't do that with us.
Yes.
You can't see if I'm online.
Okay.
And those things are in there, and emotions and all of that's in there. You go to Yamba to get that exact content from that exact source, which is a supplement to the social medias.
Okay, that's interesting. You spoke about it yesterday. You spoke about, and you gave the Disney example very beautifully. You spoke about narrowing it down from a Marvel to a Scarlett Johansson.
Exactly.
It's a great example. So my point is, do people really want to do that?
Yes.
Based on your understanding, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would even go so far as say people are there already.
Oh.
People are ready to get exactly what they want from whom they want. It's just that it's been such a great business model not giving them that the resistance from the big elephants from Silicon Valley has been out there. That's what we're changing.
So are you interested only in the 20-somethings? Or are you?
Rephrase that for me.
Okay, is your target audience the Generation Z only, or are you saying, no, we want to look at the 50 plus and the 40 plus? Or are you saying, no, I want only the 20s and the 30s too?
Yeah, and it is a really good question, because I get it almost daily. I believe I usually say that we are like the milk in the supermarket. Everyone picks up milk. So within Yamba, since we work within verticalization, so if you're 20-something, you're going to find content exactly suited for you, and it's not disturbed by anything else from someone else. So we are a little bit of everything, but specialized for anyone.
What do you want to be when you're grown up?
I never want to grow up. I want to be I want to keep being the Peter Pan. I'm curious by nature, so I hope I can stay that as long as I can.
What does Yamba want to be when it grows up?
I hope it stays independent.
That was my next question.
Yeah, because people, they expect me to go IPO, and I said, why?
Or sell out.
Oh, sell out.
Yeah, that's very easy. Yeah.
And I don't even thought about that, but I want to stay independent and keep having our moral barriers and ethical standards that we put up there.
Which is, lines have crossed.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah.
What drives you? Obviously, it's been a very challenging journey to get to this. We are seeing the success, and we are excited now.
Yeah.
What has been driving you every morning?
Yeah. So and that's also a good question because people see the tip of the iceberg.
Saying, wow.
Now,
Yeah.
but a couple of years back, they were saying that I was crazy doing this. It's my curiosity, and it cannot be underestimated that I really love solving problems for people or institutions, etc. So when I sat with people from Ghana, the CIOs.
Oh, you did, okay.
And they were talking about what they could do within Yamba, within the school.
Very interesting.
Yeah, the educations of that. And it's something I didn't know about, and we can solve that. And that makes me super excited. I already had a 20-minute call with my team back home in Europe.
Really?
Yeah, we have to fix this and all that. And I'm sitting with the delegate from Bahrain to talk about public notification information to the people. And we can do that as well. That drives me. The people look at what we've created and say, aha, I see how I can use this. Is this possible? That really gets me going.
So in terms of, let's say, pushing a specific message, if an organization wants to push a specific message out there, should they be calling Yamba or should they be looking at somebody else?
They should call Yamba. So regardless of what kind of message or who you are, it doesn't matter if you're a government or an association or maybe a football club or a business or corporation. What you want to do is you want to control your message. And today you have Twitter and etc. and Instagram and all of that and YouTube filled with noise, filled with hate, and filled with a lot of problems when it comes to the algorithms that optimize it. Means that you could put something out there, but the optimization process feeds your potential users with other things. Within Yamba, it's a vertical, meaning that if I'm interested in what you have to say, I'm going to get only that, and the noise is going around. And that's what you want.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Because I'm telling you, I'm listening to what you have to say now. Show me your content, write something, take a picture, make a video.
You've been going around, obviously, hiring people, you're expanding. Do you look for reflections of yourself in them when you hire them?
Oh, what a great question. Everyone hiring people struggles with this. Because you don't want to end up with Jay-sayer, but it's so easy to like yourself.
Which is why
it's an amazing question. So I fight with that, to be honest. And I think so far I've done a decent job. And now I'm also allowing people under me to hire. Yeah, which means I'm more interested in them understanding the culture that we do.
So you're letting go now?
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I know.
But I try, Have to.
Yeah.
It's like giving a child over to someone.
It's brilliant. And you know, if the world changes dramatically, if social, obviously social media won't go away, but if there is a disruption that will happen in social media, what do you think that would be as an industry?
Well, so
I mean, I don't know. You're more qualified to say it. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's two paths that would disrupt social media in a sense, and we're not that. We're just a smart evolution. So I take myself out of it. But one is obviously AR and AI. I believe, especially for the younger kids, because they grew up with this. You and I, we didn't. So we can always say, now I'm going to have a walk in the park. For them, that would be inside that social media forum, perhaps. But then it's legislative, and that's more immediate, how that's going to be set up. Meaning, I think, and I could be wrong, but the way I look at US, and US is in the forefront for this, and Europe is coming there as well with the GDPR laws, that they might be divided from those big ecosystems into smaller companies, which means that you will have not the full breadth of your interest on the social media, but certain distances of it. Meaning YouTube would not belong to Google, etc. Instagram would not belong to Facebook. And I think that's pretty disruptive.
And your development centers, would you plan to have them scattered, or do you plan to focus them on a particular region, development centers?
Yeah, so we have today development in Eastern Europe.
Romania?
In Serbia.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, Romania is also good.
Yeah, and you're getting resources?
That's the only place in Europe you can still get some. You know, it's difficult. Yeah. Well, there is an inside joke they might know that everyone asks you, so who's your Indian? Means that you need to have a decent tech guy from India.
Yeah.
So my CTO is Indian, but he's a NASA engineer over in Silicon Valley, and of course and when you create when you get a superstar like that, he creates his own ecosystem of good people around him. So we have US and Serbia, but it is a concern to find quality.
Yeah. And do you operate? So do you operate out of the cloud, or are you going to operate out of data centers? Or?
Yeah, I mean that's obviously comes down to ones and zeros and math and figures. We have a breaking point when it comes to service size and capacity, where it's you be on the AWS, the Amazon service to begin with, but at what point do you start putting up your own? At that point, when you do it, you're also getting into geopolitical discussion, which I'm not really keen to, but
you don't want to defocus your energies.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll leave that for the future. Yeah.
If there was one feature, one change you would make to Yamba today, if you were to with the product, would there be something, or you put everything in there?
If there was something that I would add that we don't have from the start, and I'll be fully bluntly, we're not having live streaming because I didn't see that.
While you were building.
You got it. The architecture. 2 years ago, I should have realized how big it's going to be. So
that would be a 2.0, would it be?
That is a 2.0. So we already have a team for that, but it takes time. To have it come out. Yeah.
And what's the dumbest question you had from a client so far?
I tell you what I'm really tired of hearing. I'm trying to hear people try to generalize and come up with a comparison. So you are a Pinterest 2.0. Oh, you're an Instagram 3.0, or you're, which means they haven't really listened to what we said to start with. That can be tiresome. Yeah.
And do you fight that at all?
I've lost that fight so many times now. So at this, I try to when I can recognize people that will go that path. I start by telling them we are our own ecosystem. This is why it took so long time. It is not fair to compare us to anything else, neither for the one you want to compare to or to us, because that leads into discussion that takes away from the tech and the features. And usually that settles people, and then because the attention span is so low, but if they are able to listen for just one more minute, they're going to get everything that they want to. So hopefully I get there with them. Yeah.
Looking at Middle East?
Yeah. I'm very interested in Middle East. And
there's a lot happening right now.
Oh yeah, no, it's an exciting place and a good crowd. And we are pretty big in sports, and sports they love over here.
Absolutely.
So Dubai is definitely a part. We have an investor that we're talking with over here. Bahrain also, and the UAE to roll out. So yeah, we have a keen eye to. Yeah, absolutely.
We're looking forward to you coming here.
Yes.
So would you actually have, which means you are looking at a global footprint?
Yeah. We are launching Yamba just like Apple would launch an iPhone or Samsung Galaxy.
Really? That's ambitious. Awesome.
Yeah, so we are covering more than 1.5 billion people in our population reach already. We have major partner in critical mass in every single market that we're moving on. So all the way from Tokyo to Alaska, from Buenos Aires to Stockholm, which is not the way a startup usually launches. But the reason we are doing that, and this is why it's taking so long, is because I believe that a one app wonder from a garage, it doesn't work anymore. I need to get your attention. And the only thing of doing that is coming out big. And that's what we're doing with all of these partners together behind us.
Yep. So it's right now funded externally?
No.
Self-funded?
Up until today, it's been funded by me and some very close friends to me. But this is why we're having an
very proud of yourself.
Yeah. Wow. Or idiot, as many have said.
No, you've done so much. Come on.
Yeah.
Because you're beyond bootstrapping, obviously.
Yeah. So I mean,
way beyond that.
now we're having an investment round just now going on, and which is amazing. And exactly. But it's also, I tell you, because it's also very demanding to talk valuation of something, and you feel embarrassed almost talking about it to investors.
No, that's good. I was talking to an earlier guest as well on the show, and I asked him, he had an idea like yours, and I asked him, are you looking at it? He said, I'm very tempted to look at investors, but then he says, Venki, then maybe I will lose the driver's seat. So maybe for some time till I know the kid is grown, I want to keep that with me. And that's a good thought. I mean, while it may be tough, it's a good thought, I thought.
No,
and I'm sure it's the same for you.
Yeah, because I mean, I took it through all the big risks, all myself. If we would have failed, it would be on my account.
Yeah.
And the investors, we have Barclays Capital moving, Burak Capital in Dubai, for instance, and they love it because they see a product that is ready to go for market, and where the management has been willing to take the risk at that point. So. But I wouldn't do it again. Want to sleep late nights for that. But it's been a journey on that side. Yeah.
Exciting. So we've had somebody very interesting talking about social media, talking about how he's planning to scale, and that interested me. Having a footprint like Apple does with 1/10 of the organization. Yeah. So your global headquarters are in the US now.
It will be, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So they don't even have a global headquarters in the US, and they're still. So that's phenomenal. You've heard him say offices in India. He's working out of offices in Europe. Middle East is something he's looking at. Two things for me are key takeaways from this talk. One of them is build something and build it well, passionately. So and be happy when your final product doesn't turn out like you thought it would be. That is a very different thing for me. And normally I would think you would be disappointed, but it's good to know. That is one. Number two is he is courageous enough to admit that yes, there are times he looks for himself in the people he hires, but then he stops himself, slaps himself, goes back and says, no, I want to hire different people who can challenge me. So I welcome that and I respect that. Thank you very much, John. It was a pleasure having you. And I hope the next time we speak, you have a ticker running at the bottom.
Thank you. Cheers. Lovely. Thanks.
Thank you.